Welcome everyone to MS Live. Welcome. I'm your host, Dulci Hill. MS Live isn't just for MS, it's for everybody who's struggling with an event uh, or a great loss that you just can't deal with. And it is so wonderful. I hate to say that. It is so wonderful being brought to my knees by something that is such a catastrophic thing in my life where I have to, it's called resilience, is that I have to uh, overcome obstacles every day in order to be a good just to have a good life and to be a good life. Hi, to be a good steward to the blessings God's given me and to love other people. Show and when I started this many like 9 months ago, twice a week, there I actually thought I had something to say, and now I realize this is taught humility, and I pray for God to guide this situation. Hi, Mindy, to guide this and to guide it through you because. Hi Paul, I may be in front of the camera, but I am no more of a blessing than you are. I'm just holding this. So, holding this space so we all can come together. Uh, I have on Facebook. Occasionally, after I'm done posting medical research in MS Frontiers Medical Share, hi Rodney. After I'm done doing that, then I scan the different groups and look at the common questions people ask or complain about. And somebody talked about, and I quoted, about having foot drop and falling. Foot drop is something that is specific to MS, and if you don't have MS, then let's just say that, hi Craig, something big happened. This person, hi Nikki, and this person fell. This person said it was a woman, and she said that everybody kind of looked at her, and a few people laughed. Why do people laugh? And I just know human nature. So you think, do people laugh? Did that? Uh, uh, People, if people laughed, it's because they were uncomfortable, right? They don't know what to do. If people, and I am an expert of falling. I've had MS for 37 years now. And the longer you have it, the more often you fall in public. Hi, Alexander. And what I was thinking, and I said to her, uh, were they laughing? Were they uncomfortable? Were they horrified? Did they know not what to do? I'm to the point where I wish people would stand around and laugh because when you fall hard, which I do, people tend to stand around horrified, not knowing what to do. On top, hi Robert, on top of everything that happened, this person posted that later that day I went to the gym and I decided I was going to swim and I was going to work out. Do it even though I didn't want to. But if you have MS, you have to use it or lose it, even more so than other people. But everybody needs to use it or lose it. So I ended up, I had my jacket because I was going to swim outside. It's a warm up jacket on my walker, and I went to sit down and I fell. I slid off the walker. The walker went pushing away, and I fell on the floor. And there was a young guy, he had his earphones and he's lifting. He's kind of looking at me, and I looked at him and I nodded up and down and I pointed at him. I said, "Yes, you can help me. Yes." Because he didn't know what to do. Hi, Jane. He just didn't know what to do. People don't know what to do. And when you point at them and ask them to come over, and you give them, you put your hands up, and he helped me up. It was a young guy. He helped me up, and I thanked him. So he just think about being in his shoes. He was so grateful to be able to help me, and maybe I fell so that he could feel good about himself. I don't know. God works strange things. It didn't hurt. I easily went down, and I'm good at falling. I fall often there, but it doesn't have to be an embarrassment. It some you can laugh. In fact, if everyone's laughing, the best thing to do is laugh with them, and then look at them and say, can someone help me? People want to help. Think about that. And people want to help. Isn't it great when you've got the walker and you're walking around, and say you pull up in your car, and you don't have a walker, you have groceries, and you don't have a walker, and somebody says, can I carry those groceries for you? Say yes. Every time somebody offers a hand at anything, doesn't matter whether you've got MS or you don't, allow other people to be angels. It's good. Isn't it great when somebody asks you to do something? It's like, I can do that. It's we call that low hanging fruit. It is, if it's low hanging fruit and it's easy to pick, it's easy to follow through, it's not painful. One of my friends, dear friends, it's my dog's aunt. She's got the twin sister. Hi, Monica. She's got the twin sister. Hi, Gary. Hi, Joey. Of Ranger, of the Golden Retriever. She came over the other day and she brought gifts. Well, she sent me an email. It's one of those silly chain emails that said, will you do me a favor and send this person, my friend, a $10 gift? Send her a gift, and it's a chain. It's one of those stupid chain mails that I just don't partake in. But you know what? It's because I love this gal so much, and it's low hanging fruit. Do I have? I have a box of gifts that I like to give out there, and it's $10. Monica, I'll answer your question in a minute. Uh, uh, so I love this gal, and it's low hanging fruit. So I send it out. I send out this invitation for other people, so that, because I know that everybody I send out. Hi, Debbie. Everybody I send out's gonna just one person, if they can send a gift to her, just one person, and but I'm gonna send. I said to her, I'm gonna send. I buy hand cream. I have coffee mugs. I have T-shirts. I buy these little things that can make somebody's life better. So I like to carry around these little gifts and thank you cards in my car. And if somebody changes my life, I like to give them either a gift or a thank you card. So one of the things I'm doing with this is that I got enough junk in my house, but every gift, it's $10, and it said that I'm going to get a ton of gifts. I don't care about the gifts, but what is I'm going to give to this gal. She's got a lot of hopes, and her friends got a lot of hopes. I'll put a nice little Christian message in there, because that's who I am. And if I get one single gift, if I get 36 gifts, I'm gonna put it in my gift basket that I can give out at Christmas and throughout the year. But anyway, if you're interested in participating in that, just hi, Robert. A private message me, or if not, I understand. I always ignore these things. But because I know the gal who is doing it, and I love her dearly, and she's the most generous person I have ever met. I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it for her. Let's see. Okay, Monica has a wonderful question. She says, "What's the best medication for secondary progressive MS?" And that is interesting. This is hi, Carol, and Jana. The second is, first of all, to answer that question, you have to understand MS, when and how you treat it. Different types of MS you treat differently. Now, disclaimer: I'm not a doctor, so anything you hear from me, you go to your neurologist. Anything you hear from anyone else, go take that information, go to your neurologist. Do not take my words as gospel, because I'm not a medical. I love researching. I have, if you look at the books behind me, I've got books on neurology and orthopedics. My hobby is medicine. My favorite thing to do is watch surgeries and stuff. But Domenico, hi. So all right. To answer your question, Monica, the first part, relapsing remitting MS, tends to be a disease of inflammation. When we have attacks, our body's inflamed. What causes the inflammation? Before, they didn't know, but they happen to know that Solumedrol and steroids reduce the inflammation. One of the things that think of steroids when they give it to you is steroids is a chemical interior ice job. It's like putting ice on a swollen joint. So when they give it to you, high dose in your veins, there it's 1 gram a day for 3 to 5 days. It is like just putting your whole interior body on ice, and it shocks the heck out of your system. It cools it down and it stops the inflammation. That is so when you have an attack, it causes the inflammation. That's how they treat attacks. Relapsing remitting is a series of attacks. There's medications. If you go to msfrontiers.org, you'll see these medications. Look at the medication link in the order of effectiveness. And the studies show that the earlier you're on and the longer you're on a medication, the less disabled, less chances of you being disabled in the future. And what you want to do, what these medications do, is ward off attacks. New research has showed new research has shown that there's a gut microbe, there's different things that cause inflammation, sugar, different things we eat, different probiotics, different things that we're supposed to be eating, things we stay away from. So if you pay attention to these things that don't cause this inflammation, the first part of the disease, and you have less attacks, and you stay on a disease-modifying medication, you may be better off in the future. You may not. It's a snowflake disease, but you stack the odds statistically of being better. I've had a very active, aggressive relapsing remitting. I still have relapsing remitting in addition to secondary progressive MS. Now, what if you have relapsing remitting and you have an active disease in addition to secondary progressive disease? Medication is something you would be on. One of the things that you have to realize is the second part of MS, right? The second part of relapsing remitting is secondary chronic progressive. That's when there's been so much demyelination around the nerve that now the nerve has been exposed so long and it snaps. So what happens is that you can have old, say 20-year-old damage of a exposed nerve and it snaps, right? Doesn't mean that that leg won't work, or that nerve is gone, but muscles have memory, so you can overcompensate. And Gina, hi Gina, and we short circuit. So hi Dana. So the secondary phase of relapsing remitting is damage that's over 20 years. The attacks we had 20 years ago have the chance of coming back. The symptoms do. So that's secondary progressive. You can have secondary progressive without having relapsing remitting. That's a wonderful situation, because then you don't have to take medication. I can't determine that. Your neurologist determines that. So all right. If you have, there's medications it's being studied right now for primary progressive, medications that regenerate these nerves. I just posted in MS Frontiers medical share breakdown of exactly the neurons, how the electrical system works. And when I read it, it's kind of scary, but it's very good that you know that even though it's every research that I post today, it will be old research and irrelevant tomorrow, depending on what the breakthrough is. Let's see. So, what medications are there for secondary? Hi, Phil. What medications are there for secondary progressive MS? Providing you don't have active MS. They say that Ocrevus has been approved and is reducing that for primary progressive MS and second for progressive MS. If you have active MS along, relapsing remitting along, and that's new damage that can turn into secondary progressive in 20 years. If you have that, you want to be on a disease modifying medication that your doctor will tell you about. I'll give you an idea. I'm on rituximab. Tysabri, people can be on Tysabri, which is my favorite. It made me feel better, about 10% better. But again, so many people, gosh, I scan these groups, and so many people say MS sucks. I'm an MS warrior. You know what? Being an MS warrior, to me, it's like you signed up for something. No. You know what? Hi, Susan. You know what? You know what? I just read that. Hi, Maze. I just read that, Dana. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Dana talks about having a child of 3 years, a fragile child, medically fragile child that died 3 years ago. And oh my gosh, I'm, you know what? May the peace. I just, you know what? That just hit me. That hit me. I am so sorry for that pain. You know what? That pain is so much worse than any MS can ever be, and that's why I do this, and I talk to people who don't have MS, because Dana, that this MS, tell everyone, MS is nothing compared to the pain of losing a child. Oh my gosh. Monica, you have and so everybody, Phil, Phil's whole family has COVID right now. He doesn't have MS. He's like a movie star. He's a big shot entertainer. And I love you, Phil. And but think about how scary it is for him, how powerless Phil feels right now, having his whole family with this terrible disease right now, and it's just, yeah, it's so MS. There, I was in the locker room, and there was a woman who came up to me, and she said she had an autistic child. I was a 10-year-old boy, and we were getting. I was getting changed, buck naked and putting on. She says, putting on my swimsuit, and she says, I'm sorry that there's a boy here. He doesn't know. I said, don't worry about it. But she says, you're amazing because look at you. You are enduring with this disease, and you just inspire me. And I said, oh, please, you tell me, uh, tell me you wouldn't take on, not even knowing that you would take on any of this if your son was healthy. And she grabs me, she says, I would. Of course, because there, we sit there and we think, and I cruise around and I think the scariest place for me to be is sitting on my couch thinking, oh my God, I did something so bad yesterday. Listen to this. This is, and I can blame it on MS. I can blame it on I just tons. All right, I got this leather dye for my couch. I've got this really good leather couch, and there is a little white spot. It's wearing. So what I did was I got this leather dye. It is very caustic. It says very clearly, this is the most powerful dye. If it gets on your hands, use alcohol. You know what I did? I didn't put the top on it, and I put it in my handbag to bring it back and put it away. It spilled out, ruined the purse, spilled out, dripped all over the hardwood floor. The hardwood floor. It is a honey oak hardwood floor. Oh my gosh! And I'm sitting there and I'm feeling. I'm like, I'm a loser. I'm a big fat loser. Uh, and all of a sudden, how I feel physically, it's like, oh my gosh, I am not thinking straight. I drop everything. Is it so what I did is what do? You try to mop that stuff up, you try to clean it up as best. My husband tried to help, but when you think about it, you think the scare, it was good that it dropped on the floor. I had something to do, got out of myself. It's you know what happens when you're sitting on the couch and you're thinking about how awful you feel, how bad it is to lose a child. My stepfather died a week and a half ago. How awful it is. It just you think how awful it is when I've been talking to people who are transferring from relapsing remitting to secondary chronic progressive, and they just, what do you do when all of a sudden, people with relapsing remitting saying, when can I use a cane? Do you remember the time, for those of you who have progressed beyond a cane, do you remember a time when you used to use a cane and used to go into stores and leave your cane in the store, you'd forget it. Monica, I think that's Monica asked if she should go for rituximab. A provider is not. All right. So what, Monica? What I would say is get yourself an MS specialist. Go to MS Research Hospital and see if you can get in with a doctor and a neurologist who specializes in MS. And at that point, that person will give you that answer to that question. None of us is qualified to tell you if you should be on rituximab or not. Aspirin kills certain people if they take it. And if anybody here tells you it would be a good thing for you to take all that, it just, and something happens to you, imagine how we'd feel. We wouldn't even know. So please call MS Monica Nangya. I don't know where you live. So tell us, where do you live? You're a gentleman. I see you're a gentleman. So please tell us. All right, Sharia just said her friend Teresa just took her cousin last night, and everybody is, hi Citizen, hi Eve, hi Brittany. Everybody's talking about you're in India, I see. India, and the problem with a lot of places in India is that you don't have MS specialists there, and I understand. Are you able to get in touch with the research hospital for MS? I don't know. All right. Citizen is talking about negative results for Ocrevus for December will be a year. Okay. Hi, Crystal. Sorry. I started thinking. Okay. So, we are. So I think I just go through when do you use a that is good. Cleveland Hospital, yeah, that's outstanding. Cleveland Hospital is Citizen, what's your name? Somebody they're if you are on Facebook and you want to participate, hi Richard, in this live chat. This is a very active live support chat. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel and join in MS Live. We've got a lot of people. Hi, Margaret. So all right. So what is it? I see pain when I go to the gym, when I go for a walk, when just the pain I see, it's it's just devastating. It's devastating. Do you have to have MS to see the pain? People are suffering. I went to a doctor yesterday. I saw a gal that I know from another organization. She went into this doctor's office or the waiting room. She looked at me and she says, I miss you. She's wearing a face mask. I'm wearing my face shield. She's looking at me and she says, I've missed you. And I said, I've missed you too. Her words were kind, but let me tell you something. Her eyes had so much fear, and she was afraid. I'm not a mind reader, so I don't know what she was afraid of, but she looked like a scared bunny. She looked at me it was like I was a loaded gun. She didn't know how she was going to react. Uh, so it doesn't really matter what is getting us down. Uh, Everything has fear in it. Uh, we have to recognize is that what fear is false experiences appearing real. FEAR. Now in MS, it's very real experiences. One of the things that I think about is that every time I fall, every time something happens with me, say incontinence, say something happens with me, instead of thinking, "Oh, life sucks with MS. MS sucks," it's it's affecting me. Instead of thinking that, I think, how did I set myself up to fail? How did I not take care of myself to fail? Let's see here. Now to bring you back into this, Gina's talking about a negative result. All right, you guys are supporting each other. They're so I don't know. Use my name Dulci if you want me. If you want to get my attention, type, and you want me to read that or direct. Yeah, exactly. Mace. You've been on YouTube. Mace is talking about preparing. It's one thing being concerned about failure, fearing failure. It's another thing to set yourself up for the greatest success. That's why the doctors and nurses, everywhere you go, if you walk with a walker and you're about to sit down, they put the brakes on. They'll look at you because you'll go to sit down and you won't have the brakes on. In fact, I'm thinking yesterday, I didn't put the brakes on my walker, on the walker you gave me, Richard. So it rolled away and I fell on the ground. I just what went wrong? Well, first I had a coat on the seat. All right, that is strike one. You don't do that. I keep the seat clear so I can sit down on it. Uh, Number two is when I stop the walker, I put the brakes on. That will that will set myself up for not having it roll away when I depend on it. All right. So I'm setting myself up to succeed. Uh, do I have my AFO ankle foot orthotic? Do I have, and Mace is talking about slowing down. And with MS, think about that. Think about you got something in your hand. How often do we turn and we look at putting something down? Do we, how often, or do we get in the habit of just dropping it, just dropping it because we don't look. I do that with water. I do that with everything, and it's my own fault. All right, so now we've got another question about spasticity. How do you treat spasticity? So you know what? You guys are experts. I can tell. I can tell you, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to let other people let. You know what? Jane and Gina and Sharia, you guys have had MS forever. So advise citizen on spasticity. If you're in the United States, again, our doctors are very good. That's the number one thing that we don't, that doctors want to hear. what our neurologists want to hear. How can, you know what? The guy who saw me fall, it's not that they can't help. It's they're not mind readers. So we have to tell people, our spouses, our neighbors, we have to tell people when they need to help. Our doctors, all right, I'm having spasticity. And the doctor will say, well, are you taking your baclofen? Yeah, I'm taking my baclofen. Well, how much baclofen? Well, it makes me sleepy. And we answer, I take baclofen 10 milligrams as needed every other day. I don't like it because it makes me sleepy. And the doctor says, well, your body ends up getting used to baclofen. So, it's like using the cane. All right, you want spasticity or do you want to all right, so say baclofen doesn't work for you. The doctor may say, well, have you tried Botox? Have you tried Xenoflex? Have you tried? The doctor has a spasticity kit that they'll ask you questions about what works for you. Also, what we take, what each person takes, is different than another person takes. Remember, you could have medications in you that is not that will make you even sleepier if you take that. I've discovered that if I was going to physical therapy, and my physical therapist said, you are like working with a board, a stiff board, and I'm not going to work with you. I'm not going to help you until you show up defrosted. I like to think of baclofen as defrosting medication. He says, so I want you to take that. So since I was seeing him 3 times a week, I took that, and then I increased it, and guess what? At the end of my time with this physical therapist, I wasn't sleepy anymore. I was not sleepy. Gina, thank you for answering questions. All right, this is okay. So pre-plan these situations. Everybody has a loss, and it's so important. You have no choice but to get over our losses. You have no choice, right? We can die. We can sit on the couch. I know too many people that I know people that won't work out, that sit on the couch, that only do Facebook and only watch TV. I know people. Again, real quick, I know these people. You have to be in life. You have to, because I like to say, no matter where you are, there you be. Monica, please go to msfrontiers.org, and there is a whole page on supplements for MS. That's because your questions are fantastic and they're wonderful. But they're common questions that are answered on. If you want to know anything about MS and the treatment of MS, go to msfrontiers.org. There's just all sorts. There's a supplement page, there's a diet page, there's a medicine page, there is a treating side effects page, there is an exercise page, there is just tons dealing with MS, and so there's just tons of stuff for you. All right. Question. Now, what I'd like you to do is post something terrible that happened to you, that you've overcome, and you've used it now to get outside of yourself, to help someone else. So if you're on Facebook, just if you could do that for me, just post these things. Sharia, yeah, you know what, Sharia, she says that if she doesn't take her baclofen in the afternoon, she gets so stiff she can't walk. I will tell you that I was on Susan. I was thinking about you when I was on the ground trying to mop up this dye that's ruining my floor. Right, and I got on my hands and legs on this Persian carpet, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm so spastic. I can't. If I stand up, I'm going to get rug burns all over the place, all over. You know how it's slow to heal. So I didn't take my baclofen. So right when I get out of bed in the morning, I should take my baclofen so I'm not so stiff. Let's see. All right. Some things. All right. For those, hi, Haley. For those of us with really impossibly cold hands and feet, I just wanted to tell you I found something on Amazon, and they are socks that are rechargeable. MS, it's MS, capital M, capital S, Frontiers, FRONTIERS .org. Yeah, that is. In fact, if you look at the description on this YouTube channel, you'll see that it connects with that. So Monica, you can certainly do that. So what was I talking about? Oh yeah, talking about losses. What are our losses? What are our losses? Hi, Stacy. That make us better. What? Yeah, I will. But you know what? Um, I will tell you that everybody I have, let me think, 99% of people I've talked to over the years of 15 years that I've been doing YouTube channels, videos, 99% of them will have told me at some point, have posted that they have become a better person because of having the affliction of multiple sclerosis. It just, that's amazing. To me, what happened? Somebody says, I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand what it's like to lose a marriage. Right there, I lost a marriage. All right, financial devastation. All right, lost my entire life savings there. What it's like to lose friends, lost friends, family members start reacting weird, so I lost that. It just abilities, losing abilities. Do people want to know when people come up to you and they say, how are you doing? I like to say unbelievable, because uh, they want to know that you're doing well with the disease or with your situation, but they don't want to know the specifics, just like you don't want to know the specifics. Anybody who walks with a walker or a aid or anything will tell you. Well, every single one of you will tell you we are beacons for people to come up and tell us what's wrong with them. Oh my God, let me tell you, I had hip replacement surgery and I'm walking on a yeah, I use the walker. Uh, um, it, but even though it's a finite amount of time. A lot of times, instead of hearing it, for I think about what they're going through. I don't think about what I'm going through. I was on the elevator going up to the doctor's office yesterday, and they are. A guy walked on. He says, "Young lady, why are you walking with a walker?" And I said, "I've had multiple sclerosis for longer than I've had it without." And he says, "I'm so sorry." And I said, "That's okay. Please don't be. It's not your fault. It's not." And that's my favorite thing to say when people say, "I'm sorry." It's not your fault. Why are you sorry? As if it's funny. I listen to people. You listen to what comes out of your mouth, some out of their mouth. Sometimes somebody will tell you something, and it's just, you listen to it and you have to laugh. You just have to laugh. And Gina says, Gina, it's beautiful, because you're absolutely right. I've come to that. Gina says we have to lose ourselves in order to find ourselves. Have you had a loss that's so big that you lose yourself? Um, I think of all the things I lost. There's that country western song. God, I thank you for the broken road that led me to you. What's important? And a lot of times you don't know what is really important in life until the most important things in your world are taken from you. God allows things he hates, so that things he loves can come from that. Another thought is that only when you come to the end of yourself through an experience that is devastating, can you plant a shade tree that you'll never sit under. That's a huge thought. Think about that. A shade tree, doing something for someone else, and you're not even telling people why. You're part of the fabric of the world. All of a sudden you can feel for people. You ever get in the car and you drive? And I went from being an aggressive driver and flipping people off and cutting people off. I'm a Jersey girl, to driving down the road and praying and looking at all the traffic, everybody's sitting there, and for an instant, oh my gosh, it's like feeling the just the love that God has for each person, and every car going uh just every car uh, being a blessing of God. Each person driving it is woven together. Think about that. They had to pass the driving test, they have to register their car. What a pain in the butt. We all are struggling with the same thing. Their people have to pay their insurance, and maybe they have a speeding ticket. I don't know. I saw a joke. What is the joke? I saw a joke that says, it says we all need something that gets our heart racing, cause us to not breathe, and think about that. Let's see. Think about that. Think about all these things that are really important in life. And the point on this cartoon was that, and then the quickest way for that person is to have a cop show up behind you and get the lights going on. It causes you to fall. So, you know what? It gives you the frightening fear of God. It's like, it is, it's just scary stuff. So you got to come to the end of yourself. Dennis, I don't know whether I said hi to you, but you're such a blessing to me. So are you, Gina. Susan, you are too. Jane, I haven't. You're not participating, and I don't know what Karen is, and uh, all right. All right. The other thing is yeah. Now we're doing diet there. It's all over. Anyway. I recently I have been. What is, Susan, you're talking about baclofen. uh there is a limit to how much baclofen you can take. 24 times, it's 120 milligrams a day. You're not supposed to take more than that. Any more than that, and they want to put a pump in you because they can give you a lower dose in your spinal fluid that doesn't cause sleepiness. Uh, and but you have to be careful baclofen, because a lot of our strength is not actually muscle strength. It's spasticity. We rely on the spasticity to stand. And what is spasticity? Spasticity is when opposing muscles fire at the same time. Think of your quadricep, and your hamstring, right? Your the front of your thigh and the back of your thigh firing at the same time. What happens? It makes that leg jet straight out, right? Because it's spasticity. What happens when two things fire at the same time? Now, ideally, on most people, one leg, or say your hamstring, fires, right, and it bends, or I'm sorry, it's supposed to be calm, and your quadricep, the top of your thigh, fires, right, and then you bend, so it bends, so it stretches, so as one muscle fires, the other one's supposed to give. So it's like this. That is walking when your muscles are doing the right thing. What happens with spasticity? They both fire, both fire, both fire, and you lock out and you get stiff and you become like Barbie girl or Barbie boy, you Ken doll. And so you get so stiff. And what they do baclofen, it's a muscle relaxer, and what it does is it allows the response to be slower, so we can control it more often, more likely. Now if we're using, say, the spasticity to stand, both muscles, the stiffness to stand, right, by taking huge amounts of baclofen, or by having the baclofen pump, we now take out all we relax the muscles. What happens? Now it won't hold us. So we have to make sure these muscles are strong enough to have us stand. All right. So the baclofen will take out the spasticity, relax the spasticity. But what happens after you relax the spasticity? Now you got to do squats. You got to strengthen those muscles so it you have a chance. Use that hip flexor assisted device and go for a walk. But I think I did that video and I showed you me walking to the end of the driveway and I'm kicking myself, right? Because I was in a hurry doing the video. And besides, if you notice, my husband grabbed his car. He's backing in. I needed to finish the video before he ran me over. But the proper way is to use that hip flexor assisted device and slow down, use your walker and bend your knee. Let that quadricep expand or contract in that hamstring. You gotta bend the knee. The hamstrings got to bend the knee. So what do? Take a step forward, let that knee drop. You have to you just got to be patient. Patience is something that patience is something that you have to have when you have MS. You have to be patient to mindfully walk. The neurologist will often tell you, I want to see you walk down the hallway and back. And my question is, do you want me to walk pretty or walk fast? It is it's two different things. I showed you the hip flexor assisted device on my latest video. I was walking fast. And it's more important for us to walk pretty. Yesterday I swam. Remember, I was telling you that my rotator cuff was all screwed up. Why was it screwed? Because I haven't been warming up before swimming. And I just this tendon has been causing problems. So yesterday I spent about 20 minutes warming up my shoulder. I swam a half a mile, and guess what? Doesn't hurt today. Why doesn't it hurt? Because the point that I keep telling you that is I look at where I'm responsible for set myself up for pain or for failure or for falling or all of these things. So and I was responsible. I was absolutely responsible for creating a problem in my shoulder. I shouldn't do that. Shouldn't do that. And how can I look at myself? How can I think I went to a church one time. It was a seminar in this church, and I walked my walker up to the steps because they didn't have a handicap area to come in, and they were stone steps. And I looked up and I thought, how the heck am I going to get up there? And there was this older man, he ran by and he had his head down. He wouldn't make eye contact with me. He ran up the stairs and I thought, what a jerk. What? So an older woman came by and she says, can I carry your walker up the stairs? Can you make it up there? And I said, yes, I would really appreciate that. So she got upstairs and I made it up there, got my walker, and I looked at the guy who was holding the door open. And I said, I can't believe I had to go all the way to church to meet the first person who didn't offer to help. You watch an old lady come up the stairs in a crippled shame. I said, how is it that's okay for you? And you know what he said to me? I was so afraid to get yelled at, like I've been in the past when I offer help. And I realized that it's not him so much. I was thinking the worst of him. When I went up there, it would have been easy, really easy at the bottom of those steps to hedge my bets. Look at all of the assets God puts around for you. Have the patience to look up and ask this gentleman to help you up the stairs. So he feels like a blessing instead of being convicted. Uh, you guys are awesome. Anyway, the one exercise, it's 11 o'clock, and I'm gonna finish this now because Mace let me know the time check. One exercise, if you're spastic, you've got to stretch spastic muscles. Dennis, you know what, I love you being on here, and Gina, and I need you guys to direct the way this show goes. Same thing with you, Susan. Anyway, I love you. Please go to msfrontiers.org. See all the resources there are for you. Again, I'm called by God as a servant. I just want you to feel the comfort and the love that He has for you. Just because you don't believe in God, some of you do, but if you don't, doesn't mean that God doesn't believe in you. And that comfort that your soul cries out for, I believe brought you here. And I believe God put the words on my tongue. If anything I said has helped you, you know what? Give thanks to God, not to me, because I'm just a joke. I'm just a struggling human being like all of us are. Anyway, please subscribe if you haven't accepted Jesus Christ, who dictates my life, makes my life sweet as your Lord and Savior. The gift of salvation is there for everyone. All you have to do is say, Lord, I'm a sinner, and I know you're the Savior. I've done life on my own terms. Everything I've ever wished for and I've tried to control to make happen in my life has led to just things that just has led to disappointment for me. So I need you to drive my car. Just dictate my life. Show me joy in my life, Lord. Wash me with the blood of your Savior, Jesus Christ. I will believe in you, and I accept you. In Jesus' name I give thanks. Amen. Anyway, may the Lord bless you and keep you, and may He shine His face upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift up His countenance upon you and give you His peace. All right.